Come in, come in, come in, come in, come in. Come in, come in, come in, come in, everybody. Come in, come in, come in, come in, everybody. I'm just writing some stuff still down. Come in, come in, come in, come in, y'all. We're going to get started in a little bit. I'm just writing a couple of things down and waiting on. Come in, come in, come in, everybody. Oh, really, sis? I know, right? I do look like you. I look like you with this wavy head. Oh, thank you, sister. Thank you, thank you. Come in, come in, come in, y'all. We finna get ready. We finna get started in a minute. We just giving a few moments, and I'm just writing a couple of things down. And that's what I had said. And Goob looked so cute. This is so cute and so happy. Come in, really. Y'all show it out. Ooh, come in, come in, come in. And we finna get started in a minute. Hey, Auntie, how you doing today? Hey, Auntie Outlaw, how you doing today? Come in, come in, come in, y'all. And we are just give it a few moments. So wait till a few more people come in, and then we're gonna go ahead and get started for the night. Let's just write some stuff down, y'all. Um, okay. Hey, Evangelist Cheeks, Dr. Evangelist Cheeks, how you been doing? You been doing all right? Thank you. I think I was a little cute today. I'm glad to hear that too, Auntie. I'm glad to hear that. Okay, so we can go ahead and get started, y'all. And again, I always got to start with my tagline is thank y'all for tuning back in to Soaring Above It All with LaQuanza. With the Soaring Above It All, it's always going to be a statement that no matter what you go through, and no matter what it is, that you can truly come out of it on the other side. You can live through whatever it is that tries to hinder you, whatever it is that tries to slow you down, whatever it is that tries to stop you from being who God literally um, predestined you to be able to be. And tonight we have something great, somebody special. We have I'm gonna say son Sean Holmes, Sister Shondra Holmes, coming and telling her story. And I just love her story because her story is a but God intervention, a but God came in, the but God glory. And so we can go ahead and get started. And the one thing I love about Sister Sean is that when she takes a scripture and God gives her a scripture, she breaks it down in the most unique way, and it brings out something so powerful and interesting out of it that you be like, I didn't even think about it in that way, but it's the gift that God had gave her, and a gift that God had gave her. And I actually had met her like years and years ago, and to see the glory of God be manifested through her as this moment of who she is and who she is becoming is amazing. But so, with all of that being said, y'all know I have to say my thanks. And if the comment section, if y'all could give a round of applause, and we are going to welcome her into the building. Woo! Woo, okay. Hey! I'll be a little turned up sometimes, a little turned up. So um, I said all of my things about what I like about you and what I admire about you. But now I want you to be able to tell us, for some of the people that don't know, more things about yourself.
Okay, well, that's when you ask that, I think about like when you in school or something, or you in a new group of people, and they be like, "Tell us about yourself." Well, I always say, a wife, and I'm a mother, and I'm a grandmother, um,
Yeah.
uh, and a lot of my identity, a lot of my purpose kind of revolves around that, my family. I know I'm my own person, but me being there for them is takes up a lot of, my identity and my time. I'm just me. I strive to, do the best that I can and everything, and be the best that I can at everything I do. I know nobody's perfect, but I don't like to make mistakes, so I try to do the best I can. And if I do make a mistake, I try to learn from those mistakes so I don't make them again.
Mhm. Come on now. That's good. That's really, really good. Yes. And an awesome wife and an awesome mother and an awesome grandmother are you. So and we get to see you in action. Full blown
I,
grandmama.
I done told everybody be quiet. Don't be. That's why y'all don't hear nothing. But don't let that fool you.
Well, you know how the babies is anyway. The
Yeah.
babies and they small. So
Yes.
they want their grandma all to themselves and their mama. So I understand.
Everybody
So
needs people something around here.
yeah, I know, right? Well, all of that being said, and you telling us more about yourself. So now we have an icebreaker. And the icebreaker go a little bit like this. What is something that you love to do for fun and why?
I mean, like I said, I don't know. I don't. a lot of my time and energy goes into other people. I would say helping people. That gives me joy. Um
Oh,
yeah, in my work and in my, personal life with my family, helping people and doing things for other people is what gives me joy. It gives me purpose. I don't really have any hobbies or activities that I do that aren't surrounded, by my family.
oh
Um,
wow.
yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. That's you. You like to you have for fun or entertainment or however you want to take it. You like to give out your love language. So your love language is giving and helping and being able to be present in their life for
Yeah.
every single moment. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I will say, like, if we have any big trips, or not even big trips, it could be a small trip. If we have any kind of activities and stuff, I'm usually the one that plans that, and I just tell everybody, okay, this is what we doing. This is when we doing it. Just be ready. But
Yeah.
yeah, just planning and preparing, to do things together and to experience different things we haven't experienced before, and just experience life together and enjoy life together.
Oh wow, ain't nothing wrong with that. That's a beautiful thing. And Pastor April says Starbucks too.
Oh yeah, we
LOL.
thought do that. That's supposed to just be my thing, but Miss Olivia, she think every time I get Starbucks, she needs Starbucks too. So
Let me tell you. That grill, have you had that grilled cheese sandwich?
I don't know if it was, no, it wasn't grilled cheese. I like spicy stuff. I had a jalapeno chicken thing they had. It pretty good too. So I like that. That's my thing. If I go to Starbucks, especially in the morning, I'll get one of those. And I like my caramel drink, my caramel frappuccino.
Yeah, me and Jalen.
Yes.
You gotta just try that grilled cheese. Oh my
Okay, I'm
goodness,
gonna
that
try
grilled cheese is bogus. I don't know what they doing and who back there cooking it, but the butter on it,
Uh-huh.
you got, you got to try.
Okay.
Just try it. I'm gonna try the jalapeno. You said jalapeno
It's a
chicken.
jalapeno chicken, like a little wrap or something, but it's really
Oh,
good.
let's try it. I haven't had that one.
Hmm.
So, with that being said, well, we know, like you said, your mother is being with your family and being around people.
Okay. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
No, that's all right. We just said we just found out that your love language is being around your people, and you got a thing for Starbucks too. I think we
Yeah.
all got a love thing for
Let's stop
Starbucks.
it. You gotta treat yourself sometimes.
No, right? Yes, and Starbucks is the spot. So, with all of that being said, now we got to know a little bit more about you. We got to know some of the things that you like to do and with your family, and your love language is giving back and being there, being
Mhm.
present. So with all of that being said, we can get into the meat of the questions. And my first question is, we want to know, because we're learning who you are as we begin to talk and you begin to open up. Tell us about little Sean.
um, like with my childhood, to be honest, I don't remember a lot of my childhood. Um, I figured out as I got older and more mature, that it was like a defense mechanism that I blocked out a lot of my childhood because it wasn't, always roses and rainbows. I had a, pretty tough childhood. And so in order to deal with that, I just mentally blocked it out. So I honestly don't remember a lot of my childhood, except for what people might, tell me, my older siblings tell me, how I was. Um,
Okay.
I would say as a child and as a young girl, I did, when you ask what I like to do, I did used to love to read. I would
Mhm.
read for fun. Instead of going outside to play, I would be in the house reading a book.
Yeah.
And people thought something was wrong with me because I was, stuck in the house. No, I just kind of got lost in books and, kind of like just a different world, just a
Yeah.
fantasy, I guess. And that brought me enjoyment. And I like words. Um,
Hmm.
I used to, even from a young child, I remember my older sister saying, I would use these big words, this little bitty girl using big words, man, and they would make sense. I would use them in the right context. And I'm still that way today. If I come across a word that I don't know or understand, I'm gonna look it up. The
Yeah.
adults our life used to tell us when we asked, well, what this mean? They tell us very quick, go get a dictionary, and that's what I did. um, so yeah, I used to love to read. I loved, school. I remember one summer, I had a chalkboard and I taught myself long division one summer because that's just how I was. I was a nerdy little girl who liked, school and books.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Wrong with that. That's a good thing. I think sometimes what intrigues us even about books is what you said. Because I used to love reading books, all kind of books. I remember the Babysitter Club,
Yes.
Goosebumps. You
Yes.
read Goosebumps, Goosebumps
Yes.
was, and it can take you where you can have an experience, but it takes you to a whole totally different world that is kind of like foreign to us sometimes,
Yes.
intriguing. Like you can go anywhere in the world by reading a daggone book. Like I
Mhm.
could be in Africa just by reading
Right.
somebody's experience, you
Right.
know. So
Mhm.
the thing too. Well, is there anything else that you can remember that it could be either good or a bad thing, or something that caused you to be able to learn from it now that happened then?
Um, I mean, I don't know. I know one thing I think about, like I said, I have siblings. I have two sisters and one brother.
Yeah,
And in age order, I'm number three out of four, but I'm the
yeah,
youngest girl. I'm the youngest girl, and then my brother's younger than all of us. Um, even though we had like a not so good childhood, it was like ingrained in us, especially from my older sisters, that we all we got, so we had to stick together. Um,
mhm,
so just like even though we might not always agree, even now as adults, them my siblings, like
yeah,
and I think that's why I go so hard for my immediate family now, my children, my grandchildren, my husband. This is our little corner, our little space, and we have to protect that. Um,
yes.
yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Do you find that sometimes with that saying or staying by that hard to let other people in?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like I said, even
It's,
with me having my family now, from a biblical standpoint, I'm married, and the Bible says when a man marries his wife, he leaves his family and cleaves to his wife. So yeah, I
yeah.
still have my outside family, my siblings, my parents, but this family here is more important. If that makes sense. I mean, they're all important, but this family here is like more important. Like I have to keep that solid. So that kind of like even my other siblings, they have kids and grandkids too. So, they have their families and then we have our family. We all one big family, but it's just yeah. And sometimes we might kind of feel
Mhm.
not cut off from the other family members, but we know okay, they got to deal with this part of their family first, and then so we kind
Yeah.
of be kind of all in our own world. Like we got our own lives and everything going on. And even though we still try to be there for each other, but it's kind of hard once we become adults and have our own families too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most definitely. And
Hmm.
I guess it goes back to when you say that about with the husband. That's your first family. That's your first ministry. Those
Yeah,
are the first people that you have to make sure is all right and taken care of because
yeah,
that's that's your personal peace right there. Depends,
yes.
if it's peaceable, if not. So I get what you're saying about taking care of it, but still loving your family outside of that, just making sure that your family, your direct family comes first.
Hmm.
Is that what you kind of want to say? Coming first, but not all that you have, but you taking
Right.
care of them, making sure that they are right, you know?
Right, right.
Yeah, no, I get that. So, is there anything else? Like you can go ahead and keep on talking. We listening.
um, I mean, I don't know. You want me to tell you more about my childhood or
Yes, tell you more about your
um
childhood.
so like I said, a lot of the childhood story you hear me tell, I don't actually remember. I just know it happened. Either for somebody telling me or just but I know it happened. Um
Mhm.
so my mom had some issues when we were children, issues dealing with drugs and alcohol and different things like that. So her issues ended up leading to me and my siblings having to go into the foster care system.
Okay.
And I don't remember that. I remember the day they came and took us. I remember that very vividly. I like my memories is kind of like um bits and pieces out of a movie. Like I get a flash or a vision, but I don't remember the whole thing, the whole week or the whole month or the whole year leading up to it. I remember this and I remember that. But I remember very vividly the day they actually came and took us. I guess it was a social worker. I must have been about 4 or 5 years old. It was a social worker came out to the house and put us in the car. This is what my little child brain, mind remembers. But as an adult, I still carry that memory. They put us in the back of the car, and I remember being in the back of the car and crying. And as we were driving away, I could see my mama, and I was crying for my mama. And then at that point in time, I didn't understand why we was being taken away from my mama. Um, so yeah, at that time, like I said, it's four of us. It was my two older sisters, me, and my younger brother. Um, and I didn't even realize, like I say, why we were being taken at that point in time, or understand all the things that my mom as an adult was doing, that led up to all this stuff happening. I had no understanding of none of that. I was a child. I just
Yeah.
knew some they came and took me from my mama.
Yeah.
uh, so we ended up so we ended up spending time in Pendleton Place, which is a foster care home.
Mhm.
um and throughout that time we spent time at Pendleton Place. But also, if are in the foster care system, you might not necessarily be at a facility. You can live in foster care parents houses, either temporarily or permanently. So we actually ended up going to a few different temporary foster homes in people's houses, and
Okay.
dealt with a few different foster parents. And I don't remember all of them, but I don't. I remember the one. I remember. I felt in my child mind, she might not even been that bad, but in my child mind, I'm not with my mama. I don't want to be here. I felt like the lady was mean. I felt like the lady was mean. Um,
Were y'all all together?
we
Did
were all
they
together. Like I said, my sisters were very adamant. One of the times when we were at Pendleton Place, I remember. I have a memory of some people, like, I don't know if they had like adoption day or something like you see in the movies. Like literally they had people coming to the foster care place looking to adopt children. And I guess it was certain days they did that because they made us like clean all up and look real nice. And a lot of people, when they come to those places, they're not looking for the older kids. My sisters were teenagers. Me and my brother are 15 months apart, so we were little kids. They're looking at the younger kids. So I guess
Yeah.
the people decided they wanted me and my brother. And my sisters tried to physically fight those people and told them, like, y'all not taking our siblings. It's all of us or none of us,
Oh
basically.
wow. Oh
Yeah. So they gave the foster home a hard time. Then people, and I'm glad
wow.
they did that though, because we could have been split up. We could have been split up and not even seen each other no more.
Right, yeah,
Um,
that is, and that's a
so I don't know
blessing
if they.
to keep all of y'all together because it's
Mm-hmm,
people that testify that they got split up. They don't
mm-hmm,
even know where their brothers or their sister went
right,
to until they turn 18. So that was
right.
a blessing right there.
Mm-hmm.
Keep y'all all together. So at any point did y'all like separate at any point, or for
Um,
those years being there in foster care, y'all was
yeah,
together?
I would say, yeah, there was a point when we separated. So one of the foster homes that we actually ended up going into was my aunt, my mom's sister, ended up being able to come and get us. And, everybody thought that was a great thing because we was actually with family. Which turns out, some other things happened while we was in the care of my aunt. I don't know if you want me to go that far yet.
Um,
um,
just out a little bit more and then kind of
yeah.
branch into it, or you can go into it as you just process the thinking of
Right.
of thought.
So what I will say about you asked about was there any point that we separated? The time that we was
Yes.
living with my aunt, like I said, my two sisters were older by now. My older sister was probably a young adult in her 20s, and the other one was still a teenager. And then me and my little brother, and my oldest sister, she basically was an adult, considered an adult, and I had met her kid's father and ended up going with him.
Okay.
uh As a child, again, I didn't understand a lot of this. I think my other sister had some, animosity towards that because she felt like our big sister left us. So so the older sister, like I said, ended up leaving and going to be with him, and us other three was still there at my aunt's house.
Okay. Okay.
Mm,
Oh wow. So
yeah,
okay. So y'all were the three that was still at your aunt's house, but
yeah,
your oldest sister had left and
yeah,
had basically started a family of her own, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. So okay, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
How was it like actually even being there? Because you were thinking in your mind, what you just said is that you got rescued, you got saved, and
Right.
now you with family. And how was like the dynamic um of you being around family and being able to stay with family?
Right. Like I was saying, as a young child, I really still I probably was I didn't understand a lot of that. But like I said, I knew I was with family. So you would think like, okay, good, we're with family. And really the intentions the whole time we was in foster care, the intentions was for my mama to get us back. Um,
Okay.
but many years passed and she still wasn't doing what she needed to do, court orders or whatever. So that's why we remained in foster care all these years. Now, this whole time, we still had access to our mama. We would see her from time to time. We knew who she was. It wasn't like she was just gone off the face of the earth. We knew who she was. We had contact with her, all of that. We just were not in her care. Um, and I would say as a child, that kind of affected me too. If I, might see my mama for a little while and then I wouldn't see her, like, gosh, when she gonna come get us? Does she not love us? This is my little young mind was thinking. And so yeah, like I said, being with family, you would think that's a good thing. And I hope don't nobody get mad about this, but the truth is the truth. To be honest, my aunt was mean to us a lot. And it's not just a child mind thinking that she was very mean. She had one child, still has, my cousin, and she would show favoritism towards him because he was her child over us. Like we would get punished for things that he would not. Um, we would get, whooped a lot. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with, reprimanding a child or, teaching them. But I would say that some of those whoopings and stuff, they were borderline child abuse. It was. Um, Sometimes as a child, I felt like we would get whooped for no reason at all.
Oh
Um,
wow.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then like it would be thrown up in our face, kind of like, well, I'm taking care of y'all. Y'all mama not here, I'm taking care of y'all. This is my mom's sister.
Oh wow. Okay.
So yeah,
Um,
I can't say that's completely the way it happened, but that's the way my mind remembers it, and my siblings agree. They were there, so yeah. I'm
so
good.
you think that she did it as an obligation, and the obligation was that she wanted to do it as a good thing, but realized that when she had all of you, that it was like maybe frustration, and
I
maybe she
think
took her,
so, maybe. And
know,
I don't know
maybe
her motives either, but also too, I do know those foster parents get paid, so I don't know if that was her motive. I don't know. I don't
she's
know.
a
I don't know.
oh, Apostle says, "Speak your truth. This is your tale."
Yeah.
Oh Wow. So, and surely that can, you already got the emotions of missing your mama, already
Hmm.
wanting your mama to be there, and then the person that takes you in mistreats you, and then
Right.
shows favoritism at the same time.
Hmm.
Towards, was it between the siblings or was it just towards her child?
Towards her child, yes.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. Oh wow. I'm sorry to hear that. That is just that's terrible. That is terrible. But like you said, it's your truth to be able to tell, and it's your story. And if I don't know anything else, I know that yeah, people get offended by your truth that you tell, but it's for
Mhm.
you to be free, not for them to be free.
Right.
Now it could help them be free, but it's
Right.
for you to be free. And it's for you to acknowledge that, yeah, these things happened to me. These things happened to me, but I still made it and I still made it through. So you can
Mhm.
keep on. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that.
Oh no, you good. Like I said, while we're still there, it wasn't like I said, it wasn't always peaches and cream. While I was in my aunt's care, I was molested for
Mhm.
many years by her son. Um,
Wow.
I can't say exactly when it started. Like I said, I just remember around 5 or 6 when we got taken away from my mama. By the time we went to stay with the aunt, maybe I was 7. I don't know, 7 or 8, maybe. Um, and when I say it happened for many years, it happened for many the years that we stayed with her. And the final time that he did it, I was about 12 years old. So
Oh
from about
wow.
6 to about 12 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow. And like, what are you thinking like as this going on, as this occurring? Like, what are some of your feelings or emotion, even as a kid, because you feel certain things even as a
Exactly.
kid too.
Like I said, as
And
a
then
child, um,
already. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
as a child, I can't remember the very first time it happened, but whenever it started happening, I knew it was not right. I knew it
Mhm.
was not right. And a lot of people would probably say, well, why you didn't stop? Somebody who hasn't been through that don't understand how something like that could happen to somebody or want to know why you didn't stop them, why you didn't immediately tell. Number one, like I said, I was living with my aunt. This is her son. You know,
Yes.
in my child mind, I'm thinking if I go tell her this, she's not gonna believe me. Like I said, she already
Mhm.
showed favoritism. She felt like he did no wrong. Even if we, in little kids games, activities throughout the day, if we told her he did something, she didn't believe us. So number one, I thought nobody would believe me.
Yeah.
I would say I did not fight him off because he was bigger than me. I'm a small little girl and he's probably a couple years older than me. Um, like
Wow.
what am I supposed to do? I didn't know what to do.
Mhm.
Um, he would do these things when nobody else was around. And he knew nobody would come anytime soon. So he had time to do what he wanted to do. Um, and then he would just act like nothing happened. And I never knew when it would happen. It would just be random. I could be laying on the floor reading a book or playing with some toys or something, and he would just, come over there and start messing with me.
Oh wow. And you said it went from 5 or 6 years old
Hmm.
to what again? 12?
The 12 years old was the last time that he did it. I don't remember exactly how many years we lived with my aunt. So how many years it went on in her house. I ended up years later going to live with the lady I call Mama Jackie. She's passed away now.
Mhm.
I went to live with her and actually had came back to visit family um at a different location. She brought me over because Mama Jackie was very adamant about me still being connected to my biological family. She never tried to
Yeah.
keep me away from them. Um,
Yeah.
I actually was going on a visit to see family, and him and his mom happened to be there. So, like I said, I don't remember the time frame, the years that had passed in between from since I had stopped living with them and going to stay with Mama Jackie, and then seeing him again at this visit. I don't remember. Um, but I remember I was 12 years old, and like I said, she took me over there, and was I spent the night, and when everybody went to sleep is when he tried to come over there at me again. And that's when at 12, I'm a little more mature. I'm still a child, but I'm a little more mature. And I was like, you know what? No, enough is enough. I don't even live with them no more. And he's still trying to do this to me, no.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, because I guess maybe he had did it so long without
Mm-hmm.
you speaking out or saying
It's,
anything. And then honestly, it might would have been a little hard to be able to speak out if somebody is already mistreating you in a way,
right,
and it makes
right.
you feel like you're not already protected in general. So why would I share something with you like
Mm-hmm.
that and you already react and respond in a certain kind of way? Oh
Mm-hmm.
wow. So in that moment when you said like the last time that you said I'm gonna speak out, like what happened? What was like running through your mind if you could think of what was running through your mind? I know you said, "Oh no, not no more."
Right. Like I was angry that it was still happening. I thought that that part of my life was behind me. That I didn't have to worry about that no more. I just was tired. I couldn't believe that he was even, like I said, trying that again. And mind you, all of us kids was in one room sleep. My mom and his mom, so my mom and his aunt was in the living room asleep. Like everybody is here, everybody. And I couldn't believe that he had, you know, the courage, the audacity to even try that, while my whole family is here, our whole family.
Yeah,
And then
that
I was
spirit.
also too, I was kind of fearful too. I thought, Lord, what if, if somebody come in here right now while he's doing this, they gonna think that we're doing this. No, I was not a volunteer in this. He came at me.
Yeah. Oh wow. Just right there, bold. But you know the spirit of
Yes.
perversion is bold anyways.
Yes.
It doesn't matter when she gets that urge and it gets that urge, it's gonna do whatever it wanna do in that moment.
And then I
And
will say, I don't know if he heard a noise or something that startled him, but he jumped up and he went back over to his little area, and I had to like pull my underwear up, fix myself, and go to the bathroom. And as I was sitting on the toilet, I told myself, if I go back in there, he gonna try this again, and I don't want him to do this again.
oh
And so
wow.
that's when I stopped before I even went back in the bedroom and woke my mom up and told her.
Okay. Oh wow. So how did that go?
Like
With waking
my mama was, like I said, at this point in time, we still not in my mama's care. I'm 12 years old, but I was living with Mama Jackie and just going to visit with family. Um, so that was the time that I was able to see my mama and other family members.
Mhm.
Um, my mama was shocked. She was shocked. I think she was angry too.
Mhm.
And she woke her sister up and told her, this is what Sean just told me. Um, my aunt did not believe me. She questioned whether or not I was sure that it was her son that did it or was it my brother that did it.
Mm.
They are
Jesus.
two very different individuals, two very different physical builds. Number one.
Mhm.
Number two, I'm sure it was not my brother. It was your son. In my mind, I'm thinking it was your son because he's done this before. He's done this all these years, but I didn't say that. So for a long time, everybody in my family only thinks it was that one time. They think it was the
Mhm.
time I told, but it had happened before. So in my mind, I'm thinking, no, that ain't. It wasn't
Yeah.
him. It was, I know who it was because he's been doing this. That's what I'm screaming in my mind. But that's what I told him. I was like, no, it wasn't my brother. I know who it
Oh,
was.
oh wow. And the audacity to put
Mm-hmm.
something else that I'm telling you who it
Mm-hmm.
is, you got
Right.
the nerve audacity to put it on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So or you would tarnish somebody else's name that didn't even do
Right.
anything in
Right.
order to say, you get what I'm saying? It's
Yes.
it's crazy.
And then they called him in there, and of course he denied it.
Hmm.
Um, Mama Jackie was called because like she needed to come pick me up. Her being a nurse and working in healthcare, her first thought was we need to take you to the hospital to get you checked out. Um, Even though I was 12 and somewhat more mature than I was when, it first started happening, I still wasn't completely mature to understand everything that was going on. I didn't know then, but I know now that a rape kit was performed on me.
Mhm.
I don't know if he gave me a sexually transmitted disease or not, but I remember having to take some pills after this situation for a long
Mhm.
time. And to this day, I don't like swallowing pills because of that.
Oh,
um, yeah.
was
And
he? How much older was he than you?
I'm not for certain, but I'm pretty sure about 2 years older than me.
And
Yeah.
the sad thing about it is that if he's doing it regularly, even with you, that there has to be other people that he was doing that to.
Oh
The
yes.
be that bold with it, it was other people that he was doing that to and with as well.
Oh yes, I've thought about that many times over the years as we got older. Even though I didn't see him, I always wondered, I worried about any other children or any other girls that
Mhm.
would be around him. Is he doing this to them? I wondered that when he got in relationships, does his girlfriend know this? Does his wife know what he did to me? I always wondered. Um, and then I also wonder, why nothing ever happened to him. Like, why wasn't he ever arrested? Why wasn't he ever held accountable for this? And I didn't find out till years later that my aunt and them, packed up and moved to Florida for him to avoid having to, face, punishment for his actions. Like there was some punishment trying to be brought forth, but if he was, I think it was like 2 states away. I don't know all the fine print to it, but there's some fine print to it that they could not charge him if he was no longer in the state, is what I was told. So they up and
Oh,
moved to Florida and was in Florida for many, many years.
mm. So it's just crazy. It's like you got to know something. If you go that
Exactly.
far to protect,
Exactly.
you know something,
Exactly.
something. You know something, something. You know
Mhm.
something. Because ain't nobody doing all of that that don't know nothing.
Exactly. And still to this day, my aunt won't talk about it. There have been other times when they would come back and visit from Florida, and I would have to see them, and I would be so uncomfortable. If they was inside the house, I didn't want to get out the car. Like I didn't want to be around them, and I just wonder how everybody else could go on with their life like this didn't happen to me. Like everybody was acting like this didn't happen, and that made me mad. I'm like, is nobody gonna deal with this? Nobody gonna talk about this? Um, and he never admitted it. Like I want to forgive him for my sake, and I can say I forgive him, but the hurt is still there, the pain is still there. And how can I forgive you for something you never admitted to doing?
Mm. Jesus,
You
come
never admitted to
on,
doing, and you never apologized to me.
Jesus. Mm. My
Yeah.
God, my God. Ain't that something though?
Hmm.
And the powerful thing is you can't you can forgive them for yourself, but
Right.
to actually give him forgiveness, how can you if they never even acknowledge that they did wrong, or they never acknowledge that what you did was inappropriate or it wasn't right?
Hmm.
Oh wow. And that's just, yeah. I mean, it's just crazy. So when you talk about the forgiving part, or do you want to talk about that some more, like the forgiving part of actually having to do it for yourself?
Like I said, I don't know if I have forgiven him. I can say it, but I don't know if I have. Like I said, because I still hold on to that hurt, that betrayal, the lies, um, and even kind of like the rest of my family, it was kind of like out of sight, out of mind. Like as long as I didn't have to see him or deal with him, I didn't think about it. Um, if he
Mm,
were to try to come to me today and talk to me face to face, which I don't think he will, and say, you know what, I did that. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't even know if I could be able to receive it. For one, I would be so uncomfortable in his presence. I'm not even comfortable to be in his presence. So I don't know how that looks or how that would work for me to really be able to fully forgive him. I just know, That's something that happened to me as a child, and it's something I still carry with me. It even and when I say I still carry it with me, it affected so many other aspects of my life. When me having daughters now, I don't trust
Mhm.
nobody around them. I hardly
Mhm.
let, especially me having Olivia now. Even when Danielle was younger, I didn't trust them going places without me. Um,
Yes.
and it wasn't the strangers I was worried about. It was the ones closest to them. I don't trust nobody. And I would teach my daughters, even at a young age, the proper terminology for their body parts. Because if somebody were to touch them inappropriately, I don't want them to say, "Oh, he messed with my cookie," or "He messed with my pocketbook." No, say exactly what it was so people can know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I even teach my grandchildren, and they're young, yeah, but we teach them all the proper terminology for body parts around here. Because for a long time, when I was younger, you couldn't say those words. They're not bad words, but you couldn't say those words. So they had cute little nicknames for them. No, no, we gonna call them what they is. And so if somebody come at and let these kids know, you do not let nobody
Yep.
mess in those areas. And if they do, you immediately tell a trusted adult immediately. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's right. And the crazy thing about when you saying that is I'm thinking about because Jalen, when he would go and he didn't go and spend the night very often with other people, but it was certain people that when he would go spend the night and I would ask all of these questions and he
Mm-hmm.
would it as a kid, like, Mama, why you and Nanny ask the same questions? Because I want to know. I want to know if somebody doing something inappropriate. I want to
Right.
know the same things that I felt that you don't have to experience or you don't have to feel or have to go through. I want to know. So tell me if something is happening inappropriate. So I get exactly what you're saying. And although kids cannot really understand that,
Mm-hmm.
but protection, especially when you being violated. And when you
Right.
being violated, you do want to protect and overprotect sometimes is
Oh
what
yeah.
we do. Yeah, we very, very I'm trying to read some of the comments as they come in, but it
And I
said
want to say
apostle.
too, I always want to make sure that my children know that you can come talk to me. Please come
Yes,
talk. Tell me. Let me know what's going on.
yes, a open door to be able to say the things that you experience, know what's going on. So, and that's a good thing to be that present to actually want to know. And well, our generation is totally different. Sometimes they come from a generation of what goes on in my house stays in my house, and
Mhm.
I don't see it myself to my own child and not realizing until I got older that that's a terrible way to even tell. That's a terrible thing to even
Yeah.
say to a kid because you make a kid keep your secrets. But I only was told what was told to me, so I guess you just get. And Apostle said that's how I was about my kids after being molested. And Pastor April said that's right. And Danielle said, Prophet Danielle said, I'm the same way. It does. It makes you, once you get violated, it does. It makes you be on stand guard. Well, he been a little too friendly with the kids.
Right.
It's a little bit too friendly over there, but not realizing that everybody is not, bad or everybody don't have those perverted intentions, but it does make you stand on guard. It does
Right.
make you
And
stand on guard.
and I would
Like,
say too, if I have ever let my children, both Olivia and Danielle, when she was younger, go off somewhere for a few hours, overnight, whatever, with
mhm.
somebody, I must really trust you. I must really trust you. For me to do that. And because that's just how I am. I'm so overprotective. I'm so overprotective over them. Like I felt like I should have been protected as a child, and I wasn't.
Mhm. Come on. That's good.
The people
That's
that I
good.
thought should have protected me didn't or wasn't able to for whatever reason.
Yeah. Oh wow. So will you talk about that some more? Stay right there about that because that's important for us to be able to know about protection and when we feel like we're not protected.
hmm Like I said, as a child, we look to the adults in our lives, our parents. to protect us. And like I said, my parents wasn't there. My mama wasn't there. And it wasn't just my mama, it was my daddy too. So like I said, out of the four of us, me and my brother share the same dad, and then my two older sisters have their own dad. Um, but mostly it was my mom and dad kind of running together, doing things instead of being there for us kids. And I had some issues about that too, like, is whatever going on out there more important than us? Are we not important? Um,
Mhm.
and like I said, all the different things that happened, with us being bounced around from foster home to foster home, with things that happened to me in while in foster care.
Mhm.
Yeah, as a child, I knew these adults supposed to be taking care of me and protecting me, and they weren't there. Um, Me and my mom are in a better, space now. We actually have a great relationship now, and I'm so proud of my mama, for
Mhm.
changing. But I missed out on that, as a child from her. But I
Mhm.
love and appreciate how she's here for her grandchildren now.
Oh
You
wow,
know, and I don't
yes.
know if she's doing that to make up for, not being there for her own kids. And now this is Danielle brought me a box of Kleenex earlier. I don't know if y'all seen her come in here. I was like, I'm fine. I'm not finna cry. But we love that. We appreciate her for that. Just being there for her grandkids, and they love their grandma D. My
Yeah.
grandson Raven, he calls her Grandma Dee Dee.
Uh,
um, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Oh wow! And like you said, that's the most powerful thing is
Hmm.
that to come back in and to come back in and to be able to even make sure that the things that she missed out on that she be able
Right.
to catch it up with her grandkids. That's a powerful thing because sometimes life does life and
Hmm.
in process a lot of things can happen and it can bring you farther away from the right things than closer to what you know is good or what you know is best. And sometimes I guess maybe your brain can be so cloudy and
Hmm.
so cloudy or distorted that you don't really know what's actually good or you don't understand what's actually good with just things of life in general. And but I'm so glad you said that and so glad that y'all able to be at a good place,
Well, like I said,
and that
that's my mama. I never stopped loving my mama. Even as a 42-year-old grown woman, I still feel like that little kid when I'm around my mama. Um,
yeah.
yeah, I never stopped loving her, even though she wasn't there a lot through our childhood. I feel like she made choices or chose other things or other people over us. I
Mhm.
was upset in the moment, hurt in the moment as a child, but that was still I still wanted my mama.
Is yeah, that's the thing. I think every child
Hmm.
that you just want your parent to be there. You just want your parent to um be present, as you would say. 'Cause-
And like I said, and I spoke a little bit on my dad. Like I said, he passed away in 2016. Over the years, it would be many times that my mom would get arrested behind, the choices she was making. Um, and for one, we was in foster care. Both parents would put up, for child support because somebody got to help the system pay for these kids. So they
oh
would put on child support. And when they didn't pay the child support, they would get arrested, or she got arrested for other reasons. And I always wondered why my daddy never got arrested. Why he ain't getting arrested for child support? He my parent too. I didn't find out till years later that my dad had signed over his rights to avoid paying child support.
oh wow,
So in that
okay.
moment, he wasn't saying this not my kid, but he was signing over his rights to not have a responsibility or have those repercussions of not, helping to take care of these kids. And that's something I
Oh
dealt with my daddy for a long time, and we didn't get back close again until I got grown. Actually, to right before he got sick, right before he passed. That's when we got close. And I actually
yes.
ended up, bringing him into our home and my husband home and taking care of him, the year leading up
Mm.
to before his death. And I
Oh wow.
appreciated that because we got really close. But yeah.
Wow. But even the even have to, well, people would to be able to welcome him in shows the capacity of the love you still had waiting for your daddy,
Yeah.
to be able to have that relationship and that connection, that's an awesome thing right there to be able to take care of him right before he had passed.
Mm-hmm.
And oh wow, yeah,
Yeah.
you see this, wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Come,
It's a lot. It's loaded. It's
yeah,
loaded. It's a lot, I'm telling you.
yes, but it's
It's
kind
a
of
lot.
like that's a blessing that you had that opportunity to be
Yeah.
able to build a relationship in that time and be
Yes.
able to um care for him
Mm-hmm.
until he passed.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great opportunity, and I think God sometimes put those things before us just to see what we're gonna do with it,
How we
and you
uh-huh.
do the thing
Yeah.
by, you know what I'm saying. So
Mhm.
that right there is phenomenal, but a blessing at the same time. So, but so did you get the so when you sign rights over, do you get to even see your parents, or was it like a passing through that you got to see them? Like
Basically
you
passing
know,
through. If we saw him, on the street or something, but he basically in the court's eyes, he signed over his right to avoid having to pay child support, to avoid any type of responsibilities that came with his children, with me and my brother.
oh wow, okay, yeah, no, okay, wow, that's a something. But like you said, you still got to spend that time with them.
Mm-hmm.
So make time. You know, God always give you the time back. No matter how much it is in between, He give you that time back. So did you? I want to. Okay. So is there anything else like you want to say or share with where we got to the understanding that you experienced some things and then you shared about what was going on and what was going on inside of the house that you were in, and after that you talked about your mother and your mother, how she's a great grandmother now,
Mm-hmm.
grandmother to the grandkids that she has. And did you want to go? I'm trying to think the next question that I want to be able to ask. Did you want to go ahead and speak more about anything before I even?
Um, I would say the years when I finally went to live with Mama Jackie,
Mhm.
I felt like I was rescued from it all. I felt like that
Yeah.
was some normalcy. Um,
Mhm.
she was like an angel to me. It was like she rescued me. It was some stability.
Mhm.
Me and her youngest daughter actually met as friends and was playing together at first. And this was one of the times that we happened to be able to live back with our mom for a little while, but she still wasn't doing right. She would
Mhm.
leave me and my younger brother in the apartment by ourselves. We wouldn't have anything to eat. The lights would be cut off, and she would be gone for 2 or 3 days or longer.
Wow.
Um, and I had this friendship with Mama Jackie's youngest daughter, which that's I called it my other sister too. All of her Mama Jackie kids, I called them my siblings too. So I was about 10 years old at this point when I first went to live with Mama Jackie. Like I
Mhm.
said, when I had to visit with family, when Mama Jackie took me over there, I was 12 by that time. So about 10 years old when I started going to Mama Jackie's house, and I would be
Okay.
playing with, her youngest daughter, and then I realized my mama not home. I'm hungry, and her youngest daughter would tell me, "Well, come to my house and get something to eat." So I would, and her mom would, welcome me with open arms. And then she realized how we were being left in the apartment by ourselves with nothing to eat. So she, offered me to stay the night there, and I trusted her. She was a very trusting person. Um,
Yeah.
she also offered to take my brother as well. Like I said, we were around the same age, but he was at that age that he was a young boy, so he was kind of running, with certain crowds and running with his friends. But in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this is a safe place to lay down and go to sleep. I'm laying down and go to sleep. So I would say that's how she ended up with just me and not him. It wasn't like she chose me over him or nothing like that. He just was running around doing his own thing. And I was looking for stability. And that's I found it at Mama Jackie's house.
Oh
And
wow.
throughout that time, she actually ended up legally adopting me. Um,
Amen.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it would be times whenever my mama would show back up, and she knew where to find me because she knew I would go there. And
Mhm.
Mama Jackie talked to my mom and was like, "Look, let me just take her and take care of her till you get yourself together."
Oh wow. Okay. And you said that was from 10, and then
From
a
the age
couple of
of
years
10,
you.
I was from the age of 10, and then, like I said, when
Mhm.
I spoke on earlier, when I was 12, when Mama Jackie took me to visit with family, I was still in Mama Jackie's care this whole time. So I actually stayed from her from the age of 10 into adulthood. She kept me from 10 until I got grown.
Okay, that's a blessing though.
Yes.
That she came in and rescued you, and
Mm-hmm.
rescued you and made sure, like you said, where you had stability to where you could be able to eat, where you would be able to be okay and know
Mm-hmm.
that you're okay
Yes.
versus um not being taken care of in the way that a young child should be at that
Right.
age.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Okay. So that was a and you said till you turn 18.
Oh, until I was, yeah. Well, actually, until I turned 17, because I
Okay.
had. Well, I guess I was 18. I might have been 18 because I had my first baby at 17. So I was a teen mom. Out of all, Mama Jackie teaching me and leading me and guiding me, I still went out there and made some decisions that led to a teen pregnancy. Um, and she never judged me, never stopped loving me. She still accepted me. But at that time, I felt like, okay, I didn't feel like I was an adult, but I felt like, okay, I got this other person depending on me, this little baby depending on me now. I need to be responsible and get out on my own. So I chose to, move out, get my own apartment, which wasn't too far from Mama Jackie. It was like a couple blocks. And she was okay with it. She wasn't telling me I had to go, but I was like, nope, I got to do this. So
Is to
yeah,
make
till
sure.
I was about 17.
Okay. Okay, so you were 17 when you had your first child. Did you want
Mhm.
to elaborate on that some more? Of being a
Yeah,
teen
and
mom?
I would say, I actually was 16 when I got pregnant. My
Mhm.
birthday is in July. Danielle was born in August, so I turned 17, and then Danielle was born. I was a junior in high school when I was pregnant, so I still went to school every day. Big old belly and all. Like it wasn't no option for me to quit. Um, I knew the pregnancy was. I knew having unprotected sex, you could get pregnant, and that's what happened. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a baby. Um, and I continued to go to school. I finished my junior year of high school. That summer, I had Danielle, and I was homeschooled for a couple of months. A teacher came out to my house bringing my assignments, and then I returned to school my senior year. Would go to school every day, come home, get my baby, doing homework. It was tough, but I was determined to finish. Like I'm no quitter. Anything I do, I'm no quitter. I'm like I
Yeah,
gotta finish.
ain't nothing wrong with that. That was a good thing. So even though you got pregnant at a young age, you still finished high school and
I
you
did.
still didn't. So that's a beautiful thing right there.
Mm-hmm.
So to still have it, even though that's a challenge to be that young
Mm-hmm.
and to have to go through life as if well you wasn't quite an adult.
Right.
You wasn't you were an adult, but your mindset had to shift
Yeah.
into you get what I'm saying, being an adult versus
Mm-hmm.
you know just I don't know what people do when they enjoy themselves and they
Right.
you know I was a teen mom, so
Right.
um but yeah, so oh wow. So with being a teen mom, is there anything that you found that was a challenge? Like, what was anything challenging to you that you would want to be able to share with everybody? Like that, even if they're a teen mom, or even if they, have children, that would just give them an idea to understand. You know?
I mean, yeah, I would say it's very challenging because you got another individual depending on you, especially with when they first born. They can't do nothing for themselves. You got to do it all. And yes, I had a lot of help. I had a lot of support. Mama Jackie was still there helping me, supporting me. Danielle's family, her on her dad's side, they were very supportive. I had a lot of help. I did. I would say for those who don't have no help, it would probably be a lot harder than it was for me. But I had that help. I had people to watch my baby when I went to school. Um, and then I
Yeah.
ended up, getting a part-time job. I had people to watch her when I went to work. I had so much help. But like I said, I was so determined too to this is my responsibility. I got to take care of her. Yes, I accepted the help, but that drive just made me go even harder because I'm not just doing it for myself. I'm doing it for somebody else.
Yeah. Yep. Pushing yourself out of the way, or because well, we you have to change. Everything about you has to change in order to make sure that this little human
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
taken care of. This little human is all right, you know.
And it
So
was hard. Like I said, that was my senior year of high school when she was a baby. She would wake up in the middle of the night, you know, crying, hungry, wet, whatever, and I would have to get up the next morning for school. I would be tired. So it was
wow.
it was hard. Mama Jackie would come in there. I was living with Mama Jackie after I had her for a little while, and she would come in the room in the middle of the night, and say, "Hand me the baby." I said, "No, ma'am, I got it. I got it." She said, "Hand me the baby. You go back to sleep." And I did a couple times, but and I appreciate her for that. But yeah, it was
Yes.
hard.
Oh wow. Yep. Surely. Is you want to keep on going? Well, let me ask this question. So I want to ask the question because we did had talked about this prior. So where did it come to the fact when you had said when you had got a certain age, you was like, I'm just gonna do what I want to do because it's my choices to be able to make. So where all did that fit in it?
I feel like maybe after it wasn't immediately after I finished high school, but probably not too long after that. It was like, okay, I done that. Like what now? And like I said, I felt like I'm an adult. I'm
Yeah,
grown. I can make my own choices and decisions. What I'm gonna do now? Before that, I had dreams of going off to college, and I know I still could have went even with a baby, but that was
oh
kind of
yeah,
my excuse. I can't leave my baby. I can't leave my baby is what I kept saying. So I didn't, go straight out to college. So if I'm not young, 18 years old, if I'm not going off to college, then what I'm gonna do, and I would say that was probably around the time that I started really making my own decisions and choices. I would, go out to the clubs, started drinking at 18 years old. You ain't supposed to drink till you're 21. 18 years old. And I would choose
yeah.
that time. I would be with my baby all week, going to school, going to work, whatever. And then the weekends was my time because her family would get her every weekend. That was my time to myself. And I would
Yeah.
say that's when I, started kind of living for myself.
Oh wow. And when you make the quote of living for yourself, like elaborate, tell us what I know you went to the club, I know you went out. What all did it entail? What else did it entail in the process of living for yourself? Because surely I know you run into some folks that you really ain't supposed to be with, but you're with them because you're
Right.
having a good time.
Uh-huh. Like I said, I had done started drinking alcohol. And I would say even at 18, I became an alcoholic. Like some people can go out and have a couple drinks and they're fine. I would not have a couple drinks. I would drink until I fell out on the floor somewhere. You
Oh
know,
wow.
I didn't know
Mhm.
when to stop. I would continue to just keep going. Um,
Oh. Mm.
I don't know if I was trying to prove myself or something. I don't know. But I just didn't know when to stop. And I would say, alcohol it alters your mind. And some people don't like to hear this, but alcohol is a drug as well. Anything that alters your mind is a drug. So when I would drink that alcohol, I would it would alter my mind. I would not be thinking like myself. I'd be thinking like somebody else. You couldn't tell me nothing. You
Yeah.
know, My
They do
husband, when
that.
he first met me, he said he didn't like when I drank. He said when I drank, I get biggity. So if that gives you any idea, it made me, the alcohol gate made me bolder. Normally, I would be a shy person, wouldn't really talk much, but get a couple drinks in me, and I was, the life of the party.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you like, yeah, I
But, it is crazy because it will do that, and it is like a drug. It's something that you got to have. It's something that you feel like you become who you are when you in it, and it does do an alter ego.
remember.
I don't believe in it now, but it does give you an alter ego because I can say for myself, I think
Yes.
I was a little bold too. I say that I know I'm not supposed to
Right.
say, especially when I drunk some liquor. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so it is true.
And then too, like you said earlier about, living that lifestyle and being in them certain places and environments, coming across people I ain't have no business, dealing with. Especially as a small, petite young lady, people would try to take advantage, and they would, and they did. I didn't know at the time that I was being taken advantage of because I thought I was, making these choices myself, but that's what it was. People would take advantage.
Oh wow. And when you say take advantage, do you mean sexually take advantage or just
Um,
take advantage in general?
Both. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
It make you do things you wouldn't normally do. Or you just so out of your mind that you don't know what you're doing.
Yes, and why you saying that, it made me think about, because this just popped up in my head that, I remember me and my friend girls, we used to have hotel parties all the
Mhm.
time. We used to have hotel parties all the time. And this one day, I know we was underage, and the guys had brought some liquor, some beer in, because that's what they would do when you're around older men.
Mhm.
And I, I would say it is being taken advantage of because it was when somebody gets you at your weakest moment, when your brain is altered, and this is what they do all the time. Because this set of guys, this is what they did. Wait till women get at the most vulnerable place, and then you want to participate in sexual things, or then you want to be able to have sex with them. I think that is the farthest form of a predator. People wait and they do lurk around just to see you at your vulnerable states, and they do that to women
Mhm.
all the time. And they probably do it to men too, but I know that I have been a victim of, it's predatory, I think it is, honestly.
Mhm.
But just something that you just said that, but I just think in certain settings that's just what they do. Um, yeah, it's just what they do. So, okay, sorry, go ahead. My bad. I was just that
Yeah.
came in
No.
my head. And
And then I would say, not to jump too far, but one thing led to another. It came to a point where the alcohol wasn't doing anything for me anymore. It was, but it wasn't. And so then I would try other drugs, weed, sniffing powder, just the different things, taking pills, not knowing what kind of pills I'm taking, but just taking them.
Mhm.
Um, just
Yes,
anything to kind of alter your mind. Um,
yes.
and I don't know if I was just trying to forget about everything or or what. I don't know. But it just
Oh
like I
wow.
said, one thing led to another. Just looking for something more, something different.
Did you ever feel like you wanted to numb anything? Was it like a
You
numbing
know,
of?
I didn't really feel that way. But I guess, deep down it might have been. It might have been. Not to get too far, but it was a point in time throughout my addiction that I actually went to different treatments, facilities and stuff like that. And I remember the psychiatrist asking me, um why do you get drunk, why do you get high, are you depressed, or are you trying to block something out? And I'm like, no, lady, I drink to get drunk, I smoke to get high, that's it, ain't nothing beneath it. That's how I'm talking to the lady. And she was like, no, no, it's got to be something more. So I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe subconsciously I was trying to cover all that up and escape from all that.
Yeah, because she telling the truth. It literally always is something more. Like we would say that no, it's not. I just this is what I
Right.
want to do. The
Right.
actual it's not ever just what we want to do. And there's so many people that attest to the same thing. Like something happened and it happened and it was tragic,
Mm-hmm.
or it was trauma. Because a lot of times we be going through some traumatic stuff that's just
Yeah.
trauma. And
Mm,
no matter how many times that we say that it's not, it does, it changes us. It
right.
alters us in a different state than we probably could have been. You get what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's just so you went from, you said alcohol. So what it did, was it not giving you a thrill anymore? Or did you was it like an adrenaline rush for you? Or was it not giving you a thrill?
I would say it was an adrenaline rush, but then also too, it just, especially when you in those certain type of environments anyway, you're gonna be
Mhm.
exposed to other things. And so since I'm already sitting there drinking and somebody might pull something else out, I was like, hey, you want to try this? Sure, why not? Because
Okay.
you're already there.
Oh wow. So did you know that any of those drugs were like those are real powerful
Yeah.
drugs. You can
Yeah.
literally alter your whole actually being. Like did you, so there was only a yes, you never said nah, I'm not gonna do that. It
I
was
would say,
just a
I don't know, maybe it was some curiosity. And you would
Mhm.
think also too, knowing what my parents dealt with, me knowing what my parents dealt with their addictions. At this point
Mhm.
in my life, I knew about those things. You would think I
Yeah,
say, no, I ain't finna do that. My mom and them did that. That's I ain't finna do that. But it was some
yeah.
kind of like curiosity to it too. Like, what do this feel like? What why
Yeah.
they doing this? Let me see for myself, kinda.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Mm,
that you said that
mhm.
curiosity gets us every time,
Yes.
every
Yeah.
every time, because
Mm-hmm.
we want
Mm-hmm.
to know, and
Right.
then you see somebody else acting in a way, and you might be like, hey, I want to just experience, I want to feel how they feel
Right.
with so you going from alcohol to drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So what was did you get that feeling that you was looking for
I
with
mean,
going from drug to drug?
momentarily.
Yeah.
Momentarily, but not really, because that's what it is. They give you a little buzz and then it's gone. And then you basically chasing that initial feeling. And you're never going to feel that void or hole or whatever it is you're trying to feel, you're never gonna feel it. So like I said, I was about 18 when I started drinking. By the time I started trying hard drugs, I was 21.
Oh
So over the course
wow.
of 2 years.
Oh wow. So it was the course of a few years to just go from one. And what was all of the hard drugs that you had participated in or
Um,
tried?
Powder cocaine, um, crack cocaine. Um, Pretty sure I tried meth one time. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh wow.
Um, because it's a different way that they take it. Pills, ecstasy, different pills. Um, and then alcohol. And I wanted it as strong as I could get it.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was just it was just being in the nightlife.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, I would say so. And just like when we spoke before, I said just like having, I felt like I thought I had control over all this stuff, but I did not. Because when you're doing
no.
that stuff has control over you. Um, But I felt like I had control, and it was me taking control and doing what I wanted to do with my life. Um,
Yeah.
and not having stuff happen to me, and I felt like I had control.
Hmm.
That was the main thing. I felt like I had control.
Yeah. That I'm gonna make my own decisions. I'm
Yes.
gonna do what makes me feel good, even
Yes.
if what makes you feel good isn't even good for you.
Right.
That's good. But you had said it that taking your life into your, I'm gonna have control, but the
Mhm.
control that we have is sometimes altered by the way that we think. So,
Mhm.
oh wow, can you tell us about like some of what was something else that you experienced as you were um trying the like the harder drugs, or what was something that had happened that happened to you but could help by you sharing your testimony detour somebody else from not going there themselves.
Um, I would say while we're there at the really the hardest part of the whole thing, the crack cocaine. During that time, um, my oldest daughter, she was only about 5 or 6 at the time
Mhm.
in the heat of this, really taking off and start happening. It was things I missed out with her. Um,
Mhm.
times I wasn't there for her and I should have been.
Mhm.
Um, like I said, I was blessed to have so many people that supported me and helped her. Her grandmother on her dad's side stepped in and took her to live with her. Well, she didn't take her. She came and spoke to me about it. Even in my altered state, she came and spoke to
Mhm.
me and said, "Look, you're not doing right. You need to get yourself together. Let her come stay with me till you get yourself together."
Mhm.
And I would say when she did that, it helped because I knew my baby was taken care of, but it gave me a little more freedom to do stuff because I didn't have to worry about my baby all the time. So
Mhm.
it was many years and I still was out there doing all this other stuff because I knew my baby was all right,
Yeah. Oh wow.
physically, but mentally that had a toll on her as well. Because now
Yeah.
she's in the same boat that I was in as a young child, wondering why my mama, it's a cycle, wondering why my mama not here. So the same thing my mama did to me, I was doing to her.
Jesus.
Not
Yeah.
intentionally, it's just the way it happened.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that the thing is that it literally is a spirit. So it's
Mm,
a spirit that goes from generation to generation to
yes.
generation. We had shared and talked about that because I was telling you about it was this lady that I was watching, and I was watching her, and she talked about how she was in the foster care system, and she actually was out there on the streets, and even as she was out there on the street, she talked about how she was introduced to a pimp, and she began to start talking about she never met her mama, she didn't know her grandma, she didn't know her family, but as she got older and she went through these things, she found out that the same things that she was doing, they was doing, but she had never known them, didn't know anything about them, just know she was in the foster care system. So sometimes it's generational curses that be attached to that try to attach themselves and keep themselves going into the next generation and the next generation in destroying families. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But thank God that's not. You get what I'm saying? That you came in and we ain't even gonna go that far, but we. Because I getting to the part of no, Jesus came on in this thing.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I want to say evangelist, hey evangelist G, she said, amen. And then Pastor April said, come on, Sandra, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there's some other ones, but I missed it. So, so, but I'm sorry. Go